Hello and welcome back to the Kou Louise Academy YouTube channel. Let's just go straight into today's video. So in today's video, I would like to share this tip with you. And this tip is the Microsoft Apply skill. So this Microsoft Apply skills give you hands-on knowledge of different skills within the Microsoft ecosystem. So if you come down, you see how it works. It first prepares you, right? So you learn at your own pace, with a self-paced learning or instructor-led training taught by a Microsoft certified trainer. After going through the self-paced learning, the next thing to do is to complete and pass the assessment. And once you pass the assessment, you will be given a Microsoft certificate for the applied skill that you completed. And then the next thing is to share, which is to celebrate, your new skills that you have acquired. And you can share on your LinkedIn and other social media platforms, right? So there are roles, different roles. So you have AI engineer, Azure administrator, Azure developer, security engineer, and so on and so forth. DevOps engineer, all of these different roles, even Windows Server hybrid administrator, all of these different roles have applied skills. So when we go to the top and we click on explore all applied skills, it brings us to the page and it tells us there are 45 applied skills, right? So now you can filter these applied skills either by the product or by your role, or you can come down by the level or by the subject. Okay, so let's take for example that we want to become an Azure administrator. So I will come to role and I will just click on administrator, and it's going to filter the applied skills. So out of the 45 applied skills, there are 14 applied skills that are related to administrator role, right? So let's take for example, again, you can also go by level. So let's say I'm a complete beginner. I click on beginner. It tells me that, okay, first as a beginner, make sure you start with Microsoft Entra ID, understanding identity, and everything with the everything Microsoft Cloud, the central identity and access management platform for all things Microsoft Cloud is Microsoft Entra ID. So this is a must skill to have, because whether you are using OneDrive, you are using Microsoft Teams, you are using Intune, M365 administration, Azure, and Power Platform, you name it, whatever Microsoft Cloud platform you are using, at the core of that platform is the Microsoft Entra ID, because that's the Microsoft Identity and Access Management platform, right? So let's say I want to do this applied skill. So I will click on this applied skill, and then like it says, you have to first learn through the training. So these are the training. So you start with perform basic identity and access tasks. So that's the entire course rather. So the entire course is 3 hours, 47 minutes, and it has 5 modules. So the first module here is to create, configure, and manage identities. So when you go through that, which is 1 hour long, then the next one is to describe different authentication capabilities of Microsoft Entra ID. And then you go to describe access management capabilities, and then you go to identity protection, and then from there you get ready for the lab. So once you complete the training, that's the first step. The next step is to come to this place and check here and click start. When you click start, or when you other click take assessment, it is the same as checking this place and clicking start. It will start the assessment. Note that the assessment, you are given 2 hours to complete the assessment. The assessment is in English, it tells you. And then this area is very important to understand. You do not need to have your own Microsoft Entra ID portal to do the assessment. The environment will already be provided for you by Microsoft. So you will use the Microsoft and portal or interactive lab environment, if you want to call it that way, you use that environment to do the exam. Make sure that you have 2 hours to sit and complete the assessment, because once you start the assessment, you cannot stop it. You cannot pause the assessment and continue later. So you have to complete it in one sitting, because if you close the assessment, it will mark you as, it will grade you on however long you go. So maybe if you complete 50%, it will just give you 50%. So there's a pass mark. I don't think 50% is a pass mark. I think probably 68% or 70%, something like that. I don't remember. So if you close it, you will fail, right? Or if you can't complete it for some reason, you will have to wait for 72 hours to complete it. Make sure you are accessing it at a time when your internet is stable, because you don't refresh your browser. If you refresh your browser, it will end the assessment and will just mark you. It will just score whatever you have done. So if you have gotten enough, like if you are going through enough to get a pass, then you'll pass. If not, you will fail again. You have to wait for 72 hours to redo the assessment. So make sure your internet is stable. You have 2 hours that you're not distracted for, that you can just do the assessment and complete the assessment. Make sure to not refresh, and then you take the assessment. Once you pass the assessment, you'll be given a certificate. So this is a handy way to, and everything here is free, which is the awesome part of it. So you can complete this as many assessments as you can. As we saw, there are 14 assessments related to administrator. So you can go through all of these 14 assessments. Everything is free and everything follows the same format. There is a training. You go through the training. After the training, then you do the assessment. You need 2 hours to do the assessment. Like, you don't have to do the assessment for 2 hours, but you are given a 2 hours window to complete all of the assessment. So that's it, right? So it follows the same format. And then upon completion of every assessment, you get a certificate. So which means if you complete all these 14 assessments and that complete the 14 training and do the 14 assessment, you will have 14 certificates. And these can also go on your resume and on your LinkedIn profile as well. So again, the quick to finish, because for example, if I take, let's say, Active Directory Services, the training here is 5 hours, right? So this is going to take you a shorter time to complete these. Whereas if I'm just doing the entire AZ 104, the first category here is 3 hours, second one is almost 5 hours, and 4.5 hours, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, 2 hours, right? So it takes a longer time to complete the certification. Like, it takes a longer time to complete a certification, whereas it takes a shorter time to complete the applied skill, right? And then the applied skill is free, but the certification is not free, right? Based on your location, the price varies for the certification. Like, if you are in the US, it's $165. I think it's $140 US if you're in Canada. If you're in Liberia, it should be like $80-some more, I think. Liberia, $83. South Africa used to be like $50. So let's see, South Africa, now it's gone up to $58. So based on your location, right? So that's one of the difference between the certification and the applied skill. Everything about the applied skill. With the certification, the training is free though. The training here is free, right? But the exam is not free. It's where you pay, right? But with the applied skill, the training is free and the assessment is free, and then you get your certificate. So that's a tip I wanted to share with you. I hope you find it useful. If you know of anyone who would like to get these hands-on experience and skills that they need to use in the workplace, make sure to share this video with them. If you like this channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you have any question, make sure to share in the comment section down below. But without further ado, I'll take care and I will see you in the very next video. Bye.